Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back. Today we have a Martin D-28 with a bridge that's twisted and lifting up. It's going to need some fretwork as well. It's got really high action. There might be a problem with the nut. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe because I need a new camera. So saddle down, settle in, and join me for part 1 of Martin with a twist. Okay, let's see what's going on with this neck and the action. And check it out with a little fret rocker here. No problem there. Clickety clack. Yep, right there. Yep, it's another high fret. Yep, clickety clack there. Sight down the neck, make sure there's no ski jump or you're going to have to take care of that. Saddle looks a little high as well. Well, let's get everything stripped down here. Oh man, I need a better system for filing these bridge masks. Got it. There you go. Yeah, that works. Alright, let's fire up the light. That's a heat lamp for food. And my $20 infrared thermometer I got from Harbor Freight. This is my spatula I've had for 45 years. I think I bought it at a yard sale. Don't make them like that anymore. I heated the bridge up to about 275 degrees. Seems to be the magic number, for me anyway. Now when I go in, I don't go all the way through to the other side. I sort of stop just before the front of the bridge because I don't want to dig into the finish. And sometimes, because the bridge is warm, the finish is warm too, and it can buckle in the front there. So I just go right up to the front, and then I'm going to switch around and come around from the front side. Yep, that's good. Come into the front side, and voila. Nice and clean. Hardly any collateral damage there. It's a little tiny bit of wood there. Nothing to worry about. I'm going to put a fresh blade on my X-Acto knife. I always use a fresh blade. Use a couple of pins to make sure it's lined up. And I'm going to take this shim and I'm going to put it underneath there because I want to toe it. When I use the X-Acto knife, I want to toe in the cut so it's the cut is a little bit smaller than the bridge. So I make sure that the bridge is not going to move around on me. I have the X-Acto knife at a little bit of an angle, so it's cutting underneath the edge of the bridge there. And be real careful at the corner. I'm going to put the shim in the front. Make sure it's seated well and it's not going to move around on me. I don't want that to happen. When I'm scoring, you just want to score the finish lightly. You don't want to cut into the wood. You just want to score it. I'm going to do the wings. Now the blade is much more likely to sink deeper into the wood when you're cutting with the grain there, because the wood is soft. So be real careful not to go into the wood if you can help it. And it's better to undercut than overcut. You don't want to see those cut lines after you glue the bridge. That's a big no-no. You can always go back afterward and recut them. Need to freshen up the edge on my marble chisels I've had for 45 years. They're nice and long, so you can come in at a nice shallow angle. Most every guitar top I've ever seen is book matched. When you open the two sides of the top like a book, something funny happens. The runout of the grain then face in opposite directions with few exceptions. I'm drawing on this top to show you what I mean. This little area here gives me a clue as to which direction that the grain is running. The arrow is the direction I want to go. When you're chiseling the top, you don't want to chisel into the grain like the bottom illustration here. You want to go over the runout like the one on top. It's kind of like patting a cat backwards. My buddy here, Pepe, will help me demonstrate. Yeah, they don't like it, and neither does the guitar. So, being careful not to go past my score line and stay on my side of the road, I steer the cutting edge of the chisel with my fingers, applying downward pressure. When shaving off the remaining glue, I find it helpful to use an arcing motion sometimes. The glue offers up a bit of resistance because of its rubbery type of consistency. Take your time, be really careful. And I'm only going to go up to the center line there. I don't usually draw on guitars when I do this. It's just for demonstration purposes. And up to the center line there. And you can usually flake it off or back drag it. Now by going up to the score line there and angling the chisel upward, it weakens the score line. It makes it easier to back drag it and get the flake off. Now when doing the back side, you want to be careful not to compress the finish with the back side of the chisel there. And that's part of the reason why I toe it in a little bit. So if that does happen, I have a little safety margin there. I'm going to switch to a smaller chisel. Take your time. I made a tiny little sanding block with 80 grit sandpaper on it to smooth out any remaining lumps or bumps on the top. I do the same with the bridge. We have a little problem there. There's our twist. What's going on here? We've got a little cup on the outer wing there. The other side as well. A little light underneath the ruler. I'm going to put a little chalk on the back. It'll help me when I sand the bottom of the bridge. It'll reveal what all the problems are, where they are. Oh, see? Have to be careful not to sand it too much. Check the top as well to make sure that that's not contributing to any of the tilting problems. I'm going to use a single edge razor and scrape away any remaining high spots that might be on there. Okay, let's see, what do we got? Pretty good. Now, the wings are cupped, so I'm going to use that heavy cabinet scraper to straighten those out. I think we have enough thickness to work with. We don't want to get those wings too thin. I think we have a very thin margin to work with here, but I think we can save this bridge. If it was too thin, I'd opt to replace the bridge altogether. I could make one, but I don't think I will need to in this case. I'm reusing my binding scraper to create a ledge around the perimeter and make an allowance for the thickness of the finish. I want wood-to-wood contact. A little chalk again will help me see what's going on. Alright, let's see how it fits. I can feel it drop right into the pocket. Yeah, dropped right in there, wood-to-wood contact. Not moving around. Yep, feels good. Now this is a jig that I invented for myself. It's a compass that will recreate the shape of the bridge patch, which is important when making clamping calls for the bridge. I reach inside, put it up against the braces, spread it out with the tips of my fingers, and tighten the little tightening screws on it. Carefully take it out. There. Gives me a copy of what the bridge plate really looks like. I go into my bin of previously made calls there, find a good match. That one should do just fine. Now I'm one of those who like to use old bridge pins as an extra measure to keep that from floating on the glue when I clamp it. Cut them short to make sure they don't bump into the bridge patch plate there. I'm also going to add a little paraffin to the hole. I'm going to pop those out for a moment. Yep, and I'm going to use a little paraffin. Happy birthday. it'll work just fine. Just be careful not to make sure there's any wax on the gluing surface. Okay, I'm using Tight Bond. Original Tight Bond. Okay, well that's enough for this episode. Like and subscribe, blah 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 blah. We'll see you next week when we'll finish this thing off in episode 2. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.